If gaming on a budget is your thing, then we got some good news for you. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 best games for under $20. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the finest games currently available for purchase for a price of less than $20. If your wallets are even lighter than that, be sure to check out our list of the top 10 best games for under $10.
You still have it up. What are you doing?
Number 10, From Dust.
Terjalama kami membawa kami, lakini namu dunkum ya berkutan. Ge mamaji masi bergatar.
Years after his work directing the cult classic PlayStation game Heart of Darkness, Eric Chahi returned to game design in order to construct this odd little gem. Taking the role of a godlike entity, the player must command various facets of nature, such as lava, water, and earth, in order to complete challenges and aid a village's progression. The quiet power that comes with controlling natural phenomena is contrasted nicely with the strange yet beautiful design of the levels, feeling kind of like an ornately decorated puzzle box. If contemplation and quiet puzzle solving are up your alley, then From Dust is most definitely a winner. Number 9, Minecraft. No matter what becomes of its creator, this open-world sandbox game will always have a special place in pop culture. Minecraft lays out a randomly generated realm of blocks, encompassing multiple biomes and various species of creature, before allowing the player to roam freely and do as they see fit. The game's hands-off approach works well in tandem with the emphasis on collecting supplies and crafting items, making for an experience that's as malleable as it is intensely personal. From carving out a living in survival mode to experimenting with different colored wools in creative, the possibilities are plentiful, if not endless. Number 8, Pyre.
Na temporaren.
Domizaru Mansa?
A little bit of high-concept fantasy here, a little bit of competitive sports there, and just a touch of RPG goodness. That's basically only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Pyre, which asks you to assemble a team of exiled souls and unite them in competing for a chance at returning home. Said competition takes the form of 3-on-3 arena matches, where the aim is to extinguish opposing teams' pyres, with the time between matches dealing with choices, conversations, and narrative consequences. Each aspect of the game builds upon the next, from the painterly environments to the frantic pace of the matches, all in order to create an energetic and memorable experience.
Now go!
Number 7, Stardew Valley. Now, here's a strange blend of ingredients that ends up being greater than the sum of its parts. Stardew Valley focuses on a former office worker who inherits a plot of farmland from their grandfather and opts to take up the family business. What follows is a surprisingly varied game that presents at its core experience not only farm management, but also dating sim-esque relationships, resource mining, and quests more typical of RPG games. The sheer amount of things you can do in Stardew Valley is quite impressive. That all of them can be pursued at the player's leisure and prove rewarding in their own right is even more so. Number 6, Vanquish.
Our strength is unmatched, our will resolute. We will be victorious.
Platinum Games always tries to excite and intrigue with their games, and in Vanquish, they found a way to manage both. Originally released in 2010, the game emphasizes speed and constant movement through its focus on speed boost enhancing sliding during combat. Vanquish also takes more than a few cues from bullet hell shooters, particularly in the way that the player is always under siege by very well-armed foes. With a sleek graphical style and fun implementation of slow motion effects mixed in, this is a solid and thoroughly entertaining shooter that's worth the price of admission, especially now that it's got that remaster. Number 5, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection.
Seems like I am always saving your ass.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory. Wearing their pulp adventure roots like a badge of pride, the Uncharted games have, not so quietly, revealed themselves to be some of the most exciting and beautifully constructed shooters of all time. So, it makes sense that Sony and Naughty Dog would choose to remaster the original Uncharted trilogy and release it as one grand collection for the PS4. These 3 titles boast a small but amicable cast of characters, incredible action set pieces, and increasingly refined third-person shooting mechanics, all tied together with masterful art and sound direction. How can you go wrong?
The temple we're looking for is going to be marked with this emblem. Now all we have to do is find it.
Number 4, Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor.
Fill up on grog! That's an order!
Never fear, for another strong licensed game is here. Shadow of Mordor bills itself as an interquill between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, with its undead ranger anti-hero Talion on a bloody quest for revenge. Charging across the fields or barren wastelands of Mordor and slaying orcs is enjoyable enough, but the game has one extra card up its sleeve. Enter the Nemesis system, which monitors certain Uruks that excel in battle and positions them as an ever-changing roster of captains for Talion to manipulate or kill. The tense spectacle that comes from creating and clashing with rivals unique to your particular playthrough is delightfully chaotic to behold.
My playtime will be agony for you now, sweetness.
Number 3, The Last of Us Remastered.
Man, you hit hard.
Yeah, well, I was trying to kill you.
Yeah, I thought you were one of them too.
It seems like Naughty Dog has a knack for these value-packed re-releases. The Last of Us came onto the scene in 2013, promising to take the developer's tendency towards high-budget, richly detailed production design and marry it to a post-apocalyptic storyline. To that end, the game follows middle-aged survivor Joel as he brings the teenager Ellie across the continental United States, all while dealing with brutality, societal breakdown, and grotesque horrors, of course. The remastered edition also packs in the Left Behind DLC, which provides further bittersweet context to Ellie's backstory. All this, plus the core game skillfully combines tense combat encounters, item management dependent on careful usage, and stealth portions that reward patience with greater odds for survival.
After sunset, that's our window. Most of them gone, sneak right past them.
Number 2, Inside. Courtesy of Play Dead, the studio responsible for the platformer Limbo, we have this similarly styled but noticeably more disturbing game. Inside again deals with the journey of a young boy across a harsh landscape, only here the threat is partly an authoritarian one, with other humans being captured and enslaved en masse. Through the minimalist art style and horror film-inspired soundtrack, a mounting sense of dread and fear builds up before paying off in some of gaming's most unsettling sights. It raises questions, it causes discomfort, and it doesn't let up on the growing terror until the very end. If nothing else, Inside is a game you won't soon forget. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Counter-Strike: Global Offensive. As the most recent iteration of the series, Counter-Strike Global Offensive opts for refinement and reinvigoration rather than upending the status quo entirely. That's more than fine though, because the classic conflict at the game's center remains as slick and unrelentingly challenging as ever. Players jumping into this world of disarming bombs and peeking around corners may find themselves caught up in the beautiful chaos of team cooperation, working together to use the best guns in the smartest ways possible. Its range of sharply detailed maps and distinct weapons are still at the top of their class, and there's few things in gaming quite as satisfying as getting a headshot in Counter-Strike. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.